Hi, my name is John Holland. I was the chief of police in Nutley, New Jersey. I spent 41 years on the police department and retired about 12 years ago and entered the parking enforcement business. And now I'm an employee of T2 Systems in Indianapolis, Indiana. And T2 specializes in issuing electronic parking tickets, which is something I did in my own police department many years ago. And I always say, in the 41 years I was on the police department, it was probably the most innovative thing I ever did. It was certainly something that saved the town more time and more money than anything else I did. Because if you think about the process of writing parking tickets, when I was a young police officer, you would hand write a parking ticket. We would bring them into a clerk, put them on her desk, and she would sit there all day long taking the same information that we just captured in the field, and you'd have to put it into some type of a database to keep track of them. After all, my agency wrote 18,000 tickets a year by hand, so how would you ever keep track of that unless you computerized it some way? Well, as you can imagine, it was time-consuming, ineffective. Handwritten tickets, there's always the possibility of grammatical errors, numbers taken down incorrectly, and so on and so forth. So with the advent of electronic parking enforcement, all that goes away, because using devices like you see here, this is one of our devices, it's called the XF device, we issue tickets electronically. When a ticket is issued in the field, as soon as you hit print and issue and it prints out that parking ticket, that information goes out through the cellular network, lands in our back office software, and it's immediately there. No transcription is required. That whole laborious capturing of it into a computer system is done automatically. The advantage of that is people can pay these parking tickets immediately. And we do see, using our system, tickets are being paid within 30 minutes of being issued, which I think is remarkable. And the reason for that is we make it so easy. We put QR codes on our parking tickets. We have an online payment portal. We have a voice recognition system that people can call and get an automated voice and ask if you want to pay your parking ticket, put in your credit card, and so on and so forth. So it's about efficiency. I've said as long as I've been associated with the company that someday all tickets will be issued electronically. And why do I say that? Because it's just too archaic and inefficient to do it any other way. A lot of police departments are coming around to this now, and I expect that that's going to be the trend that's going to continue. And where you're doing parking enforcement, I always kind of compare it to the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Why do I do that? Because Goldilocks was in search of the perfect porridge, not too hot, not too cold, just right. With parking enforcement, that's our goal as well. We want the amount of enforcement to be just right in the eyes of the public. And sometimes that's a difficult stage to achieve, because throughout my career I had people telling me, you're issuing too many parking tickets or you don't issue enough, depending on their perspective. So what we strive to do with our system is to be able to demonstrate to people that we're doing it fairly and correctly. And what we need to get people to understand is, you're managing a finite resource, right? The demand is going to outpace the availability of parking. So that's why you're seeing parking kiosks on the street, which is another product line that we have here at T2 Systems. And we want to be able to show the public that we're administering the system fairly and efficiently, and I think we've pretty much succeeded at that.